Okay, welcome to the third and last video lecture for Tourism Marketing and Tourism Promotion video series. And for this specific lecture, we'll talk about marketing mix as applied to tourism. So the marketing mix can be easily dubbed as the 4Ps: product, price, promotion, and place. Other scholars would argue that there are actually 8Ps, but for this specific lecture, we're just going to be talking about the 4Ps. And basically, these kinds of guides, the way products could be marketed. No, we have to consider about the product, we have to consider about the price, we have to consider about the promotion or making sure that people know about the product, and the place where the product will be sold. Now, let's talk first about the first P, product. So, product could be thought of as one that has levels. And the first level of product is called the core product. So, in the simplest terms, core product is what the buyer is really buying. So, for example, it is the airplane transport for transportation, or for example, the hotel room for accommodation. So, yun yung actual na binibili ng tao when a certain person makes a purchase. The second level is the facilitating product, and these are the aspects that must be present in order to use the core product. So, for example, going to airplane transport, what are the services that are part of the airplane transport? So, when you buy a ticket, no, it comes with, of course, yung pag-travel mo, yun yung core product. But yung check-in, baggage, that's a facilitating product. The check-in services, that is the facilitating product. Cabin crew support, that is a facilitating product. So these are the products that you need in order for you to be able to use the core product. The next level of product is the supporting product, which in relation to the core product is useful but is not a required aspect. So, for example, in relation to airplane transport, a supporting product would be a waiting lounge, no? For example, you are a Mabuhay Miles member, member ka ng club ng Philippine Airlines, you have free access to the waiting lounge. It is not necessary for you to have a waiting lounge in order for you to fly. However, it would be nice, it would be useful to have that, but it's not required, no? So, yun ang example ng supporting product. Another example ng supporting product, for example, in accommodation, yung main product mo, yung core product mo is the use of the room. Pero for example, the request for room services, that is a supporting product. Useful, but not required all the time. And the next level is the augmented product. The augmented product is basically an aspect of the product which sets the service apart from other competitors. Like for example, pagka ikaw ay fly sa Thai Airways, ang pagkain na isi-serve sa iyo ay Thai food. No, it's a part of the service, and it's basically kind of a branding for the service as well, di ba? Syempre, yun ay Thai Airways, so may mga Thai food na available doon sa pagkain na sino-serve doon sa airline na yon. So, when you are marketing your tourism product, like for example, ikaw ay nagmamanage ng attraction, or you are managing an accommodation, or you are managing, for example, a travel agency, for instance, no? Or probably you are a sports event manager and you want to take care of the tourism aspects of it, then you always have to think about these 4 levels of product. Dapat itong mga products na ito ay available for the products and services that you are offering to the customers. Because this could be, no, core product, facilitating product, supporting product, and augmented product could be multiple ways that you could market, no, or entice the potential tourist to take your services. For example, the core product is like snorkeling services. Ayan. So, the core product would be the snorkeling experience, no? Saka kasama na rin din yung pagtuturo. The facilitating product would be, for instance, yung mga materials na gagamitin, yung apparatus na gagamitin in order for the customers, for the tourists to be able to do snorkeling. So, kasama na yon when you promote your product. So, the snorkeling experience is inclusive of rental of snorkeling materials. Ganon. For example, may supporting product ka rin. For example, we can take underwater pictures of you while you are there, nagsisnorkel ka. So that's useful, but hindi naman required siya in every snorkeling experience, no? And then an augmented product would be, you can have, for example, we can also give you like a souvenir, no, na may nakalagay na pangalan ng iyong snorkeling rental store, no, as a souvenir for you, no? So this is an example of an augmented product. So pagka promote mo yung product mo, dapat yung mga components na ito nakapakita para ma-entice lalo ang iyong potential consumer or customer or tourist na kunin yung iyong services, whether ikaw ay sa part ng attraction, accommodation, transportation, etc. Next, let's talk about the second P, which is price. Siyempre, we have to make sure that the price that we offer to our potential tourists would be competitive, no? Competitive in such a way na siyempre kita, no, there should be profits and income, and at the same time it should be low enough so that and reasonable, no, so that the tourists will feel that they could purchase the product or service. There's a term we call price sensitivity, and price sensitivity is the degree to which consumers' behavior affected by the price of the product of the service. And of course, the price sensitivity from one tourist to another is different. Usually, the richer and more affluent tourists won't be so price sensitive, no? Pakitaan mo sila ng price, and these are the things that are inclusive with the price, and if they feel it's high quality, they're not going to be so concerned about the amount that they're putting out. But like for example, if you look at middle tier or low tier travelers, medyo price sensitive sila in relation to, you know, the tight budget that they have for them to be able to move around and see the attractions. So important dito is that especially if you're offering like attractions, you should also be able to have flexible terms, like you could limit some exposures to certain attractions para, for example, okay, kung hindi mo kaya yung package A na mas mahal, we have package B na mas mura. However, hindi mo kaya yung attractions, pero at least nakapasok ka, you'll be able to observe certain things, and you can always say na, nakapasok ako sa attraction na ito. So yun, that's a way to like go around price sensitivity to make sure that your attraction or your product has different tiers, no, so that people also from different economic classes can enjoy there's an entry level that can enjoy your the product and services that you offer. So yun nga, what are the factors affecting price sensitivity? One is perceived substitute effect. If a certain person believes na I can get this somewhere else at a better price, then mas magiging price sensitive siya. Next is the unique value effect. So if you present your product as, no, you won't be able to see anything like this from other companies or other brands, then you could be you can reason out the price that you are tagging with the service that you are providing. Next is importance of purchase effect. So, kapag yung bagay na kailangan niyang bilhin o yung serbisyo na kailangan niyang i-purchase is a requirement and he is obliged to pay it, no, and to buy it. Like for example, kailangan niyong pumunta mag-island hopping, pero like there's supposedly like specific shoes that you have to wear, and you will not be allowed to go island hopping if you don't wear shoes, but the shoes have to be at least rented. So walang choice itong si tourist kung di bilhin. So kahit anong presyo ang ipakita mo sa kanya, considering na walang substitutes or walang kompetensya, bibili niya yon kasi nga required niyang bili. So if the purchase is important, more likely the tourist or the customer would likely pay. Next is the difficult comparison effect, especially if, yun nga, the product that you are offering is very unique. So, mahirap siyang ikumpara sa iba, and therefore, you can charge higher if, again, your services are unique and incomparable to the services that are offered elsewhere. Now, for example, no, kaya ang taas-taas ng ticket prices, for instance, sa Disneyland or for example sa Universal, kasi the experience that they are offering is hard to compare with the other theme parks in anywhere nearby. Hong Kong, no? Kung wala nang ibang place sa Hong Kong probably who could compete in relation to theme parks. So, they could really charge a very competitive price kahit mataas pa yan. Next is price quality effect. So yun nga ang sabi natin, no? If you are able to argue or you're able to show to your customer na you are paying for quality and there's proof of it, then most likely your customer would pay. Next would be the expenditure effect. Yun nga. So if budget, 'di ba? If wala na siyang budget, even if he wants or needs that thing that you are offering him, kung maxed out na yung kanyang allotted for expenditures, then hindi siya talaga makakabili. So tendency, if there's not much money to spare, then mas magiging price sensitive si person. So usually, you have to look out for tourists na within the gitna, nasa gitna na sila ng kanilang tour. Kasi pag nasa gitna na sila ng tour nila, most likely paubos na yung kanilang allotted funds. So hindi na sila masyadong makakagastos. So usually, if you know that these people are in the first few days of their tourism experience, they're most likely to not care about making gastos. So doon ka usually aatake if you're like doing promotions. Next is fairness effect. So if the customer perceives that your price is fair given the services or the products that you will provide, then the customer will most likely be not too sensitive about the price. So we've discussed about the first P, which is product, second P, which is price, the third P is promotion, and promotion is defined as the mix of communication activities that tourism enterprises or tourism boards such as Department of Tourism in the Philippines or the local government units tourism board carry out in order to influence those publics on whom their sales depend. So in short, this is making the public know about your tourism products. And it's a mix of communication activities such as, of course, television and broadcast advertisements, digital and online marketing, word of mouth, print and paper advertisements, and other forms of advertisements. Pwede ka rin magpa-influencer, no? So there are many ways to promote and to communicate to the public the existence and the quality and the features of the tourism product you're offering, whether it's a destination, it's an attraction, etc. Okay? And of course, very important din yung role not only of the private sector that owns the transportation, accommodation in the other sectors, but also the role of the public sector to be able to market and promote the whole area as a whole para konti na lang yung effort na gagawin ng mga specific attractions kasi nga nagawa na ng magandang marketing, no? In all fairness naman sa Pilipinas, very good tayo in terms of national promotion of tourism, no? Yung It's More Fun in the Philippines, it's very very nice to see naman. It's very nice, no? At the same time, it really parang gets a lot of attention from foreign tourists. So these are the following strategies that promotion could be done in the tourism sector. One, of course, the most common is advertising, using various communication strategies and platforms in order to make the public known about your product. Next, we have sales promotion. Sales promotion is offering discounts, offering packages, and making sure that your price is really competitive so that you'll be able to entice and promote your product. You can also do like personal selling, no? Although hindi na ito masyadong ginagawa kasi hindi masyadong wide reach ito, no? That a certain person really goes out there and goes from one organization to another to ask for some time in order to present the product to a certain group of people, no? But it still happens. Next, of course, is PR. Syempre, no, being able to create a good brand image is very important, no? And usually in our time now, it's usually done using social media, no, having some sort of very interesting social media voice. Like for example, the PR of Angkas, for instance, is a very very good strategy to really democratize and to millennialize the way advertising is done or promotions are done. So ang ganda-ganda ng PR nila. And I think also even tourism products are making use of like hip, cool, millennial, Gen Z lingo para magpakita sila ng public perception na this place or this area or this destination is cool. Sponsorships is also a form of promotion, syempre supporting other causes, supporting other organizations, to also push the brand, to also make the brand known by the people who are attending a certain event or a certain product launch that they are sponsoring. And the fourth P is the place. Where will you distribute the products? In tourism, medyo weird siya kasi hindi kasi to katulad ng produkto na meron kang sarili mong estante kung saan ibebenta mo siya, no. Tourism is not like that. Probably the most permanent locale where tourism sales are being done is on the destination itself, for the attractions and the events that could be engaged in by the tourists, and probably the travel agencies and the tour operators, no. But a lot of the distribution happens from the mismong place ng tourist or ng planning tourist when they research online. So a mix of the distribution system is a mix of channels used to gain access or means by which tourism is made available to the potential buyers of the product. So yun nga, sinabi ko na yung mga different platforms wherein the tourism products could be purchased and distributed. So yun nga nasabi ko, there are physical agents wherein the distribution could happen. Tulad yan nasabi ko, it could be on-site, no? The attractions in the destination, they already have sales there, no? Or there are physical stores for Cebu Pacific or PAL, and you can already book your flights there. There's a physical location for the travel agency where you can personally go and make plans for your travel and make your purchases. But most of the time, global distribution systems ang distribution mechanism ng tourism lately, no. Example of a global distribution system that already provides you like a package from transport to accommodation to events and to attractions, and putting together an itinerary and a full tour package. Example nun ay Expedia or Traveloka. Yun, examples yun ng GDS. And of course, these things are accessible online. And lately, one marketing strategy in order to look at destination and promote them is to treat destination just as you would treat a brand, no, a product brand. So, a successful brand is an identifiable product, service, person, or place augmented in such a way that the buyer or user perceives relevant, unique added values which match their needs more closely. Its success results from being able to sustain these added values against competitors. Like for example, in the Philippines, ang brand ng Pilipinas ay It's More Fun in the Philippines. And basically, most of the attractions and the tourism activities revolve that we are a more fun place to go to. And other tourism related products as well. Like for example, yun nga si AirAsia, now everyone can fly. So basically, they're putting a lot of effort to make international travel accessible even to middle class people. No, so destinations could be considered as brands, and this is something that local government units are also doing from their level in order to promote their place. Like for example, Villasis Pangasinan would brand itself as the rice bowl of Pangasinan. So it kind of also tells you what you expect when you go in that specific place, no? Or for example, Bohol, the home of the tarsier and the chocolate hills. Ayan. So this branding already like gives added value to the destination, and the customer can already know what to expect when he or she goes to a certain destination. And later on, when you create your tourism destination plan or tourism development plan for the selected sports tourism activity event or attraction or location that you are going to develop later, that's also what you're going to do. How will you brand a given attraction or destination? Ayon. So, for this video lecture, we will able to learn about marketing mix as applied to tourism, and we discussed about the different concepts related to the 4 P's of the marketing mix, which are product, price, promotion, and place.